But education is the great equalizer. You want to have equality in your country, you want to have an equal fighting chance with everybody else, it's not easy. Not everybody's got the same chances, but if you get an education, that is the great equalizer. Does education cost money? Yeah, it costs money. But we need to try innovation. Innovation means empowering people, means giving more power. This isn't ideologues versus the public school teachers union. This isn't public versus private. We're all in this together. Many people here also went to public schools as well. But choice helps to make us better. So as we look forward in this debate, we need to figure out that it isn't one group versus another, but it is dead-enders, those who want the status quo and who aren't open to change, aren't open to innovation, versus those who think we need to do something differently. I'm a big believer that no one in Washington really is very good with education or knows anything about education. And they should have very little to do with your education. These decisions should be made in Chicago, in Illinois, in Kentucky, but not in Washington. In Washington, nobody knows whether you're a good teacher or a bad teacher. So a lot of this transferring of power to Washington has been Washington telling you whether you're a good principal or a good teacher or a good superintendent. If that power comes back to the states and locality, teachers will have more power. Teachers should be the driving force behind a movement for empowerment to teachers and principals in localities. That's all we're asking, is that you be able to take your money and take it where you want to go to school, and education will get better. It'll be more choices, but really that's what this argument is. It's choice versus coercion. So it's freedom of choice versus coercion.
So I had to sort out an option, a choice, which was given to me by charter schools. And because of those charter schools, my son went to North Lawndale College Prep on the west side. He traveled every day, but it was the best experience of his life, and he enjoyed it and wouldn't take anything back.
I'd never thought at that point in time when I went to public school that I could go to college. That was never my ambition. But now I've pressed and, just gone forward, and I've been accepted to all the colleges I applied to, and I'm going toward being an IT engineer.
Each time it was really just trying to find an environment where my daughter was going to thrive and develop just based on who India is.
Because I know that I'm going to be able to succeed throughout my years here at Josephinum. I'm a senior, and I've progressed tremendously from what I was. They want you to learn the best to our abilities, and honestly, that's the greatest gift I could ever ask for.
The school was very diverse, which I really, really loved. The curriculum was challenging, but I could handle it. Teachers were so dedicated. Every student that had a question, they got their question answered, which I thought to be very beneficial because, teachers can't always get to every student.
Well, I can move at my own pace, and I have an individualized learning plan, and I can see my progress as it's happening. As soon as I finish a quiz or a test, I can see how it affects my grades. It's not dependent on anybody but me, and that made me really self-sufficient.
I think people have to think about I looked briefly at Josephinum's statistics. It's like 90 to 100% graduate, but virtually everybody gets placed in college from your high school. And it's like, how can you argue against that? And you only have 150 students. Wouldn't we want to have 20 other schools like Josephinum? How would you have them? Have scholarships. Have a statewide scholarship program. Let people take their money. I've introduced this in Washington. There's something called Title I funds that come out of Washington. They come with a lot of strings, and they go to the school. I'd rather attach them to the student. So if you meet the poverty requirements, you'd get the money. And then you would choose which school you go to, so all the Title I funds would actually follow the kids to whichever school they chose. The thing about it is when I think about their future, and I think they're going to do great, I also think about how could anybody oppose broadening this experience for more people?
It changed my life.
Thank you.